Welcome to the kennel, where we are bringing you the big game now between Warners Bay Bulldogs and the Terrigal Avoca Panthers. Of course, those of you just watching just now would have seen Andy Baldwin walking out for his 350th game, Ash. Quite an achievement.
Yeah, it's marvellous. He's the fifth umpire in this region to umpire 350 games, behind a few very big names. Darryl Luck's one of them. John Sullivan's another one. And the deceased Neville Turner, one of the nicest men you'll ever meet, Nev. And may he continue to rest in peace, one of the best blokes going around in footy and in life, really. Tragically taken way too soon in his life. The two sides today, Warners Bay and Terrigal, you can see a big discrepancy in the records. Second versus fifth. And the favourites would be Terrigal Avoca today, but when you have a look at the team lists or the lack thereof, I'm just seeing about three blokes, probably two blokes that should be in the team that aren't. Get better soon, Corey. Poor bloke, he's got a fractured tibia and fibula from what I've heard, and Adam Miller, and you've got Tristan Carter out, so they've got so many players out today. I've just made a very small list, and I'm sure there's a lot more. It's Cookman, Miller, Billins, Williams, Carter. My gosh, there's just so many of them. And, it's going to be probably, look, I don't know, a much more even contest than what we otherwise would have, given the outs that Terrigal Avoca have. But don't let team sheets fool you, because Terrigal Avoca are always here to play. I haven't tipped Terrigal Avoca by 350, that's for sure. But it's got here Shane Darwin, AB 350, Baldwin to star. That's a special tip indeed for a wonderful fella. Corey's got the Terrigal Avoca side by 14. Panthers vulnerable but class when pushed. And then I've got them by 5 goals. The bounce back begins after their 50th anniversary loss last week to Newcastle, which Corey and Shane, Adam Miller described to me as a loss that was a lot bigger than 50.
Yeah, it was a big win to Newcastle City. I was there for the top of the table clash. It was Terrigal are under siege at the moment with injuries. They've got more than 20 players unavailable. You know that they are bereft of players when they call me up to ask me to fill in for their reserve grade side. And I had a career high 3 hand passes today, and that says it all. As they went down in the plate side, if there was ever an opportunity for the Bulldogs, who I believe are yet to shake the hoodoo of the reputation of the Terrigal Avoca Panthers, they've had opportunities to beat them before in the seasons previous to this. They've been unable to do it. A quick, bold start is going to be critical for the Bulldogs today at home. They all know that they are up against last year's premiers, who are only playing 6 of those premiership players in the side today. That's how shy they are of availabilities. So I tell you what, this is a bigger game for the Bulldogs than what you realise. If they are unable to overcome the Terrigal Avoca Panthers today, then they've got to go back and do some serious looking at themselves about where they're at the moment, because if they're going to take the elevation to the next level and play in a grand final, they've got to be able to shake what I believe is a psychological hoodoo against Terrigal Avoca Panthers. The Panthers know that it's there, and they will capitalise on it. They'll use it to their advantage. And one thing's for certain, I've picked them by 14 points. I'm not confident with that today, but they are very, very classy when they are vulnerable. So never, ever back against a cornered Panther, I say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll echo your statements, Chop, by saying if Warners Bay, and I have tipped them, I've tipped the Terrigal Avoca side today quite handsomely, mind you. I'll probably edit that pick given the team sheet, but
yeah, well, I called mine before I realised just how many were out too. So
I'll say this for you: if Warners Bay can't beat Terrigal Avoca with the side that's on the park today, they won't get past the first week of the finals.
Well, that was kind of what I was alluding to before.
Yep,
no doubt about that.
It'll just be very, very matter of fact, and that's not being.
If I've got to call in sick next week because I've been called into the first grade side,
well, those 3 touches might have impressed you, think?
Yeah, mate, well, they were good. They were slick hand passes, I've got to tell you.
They went to a player. As long as they go to an opposition to a teammate, then you look good to
every
go.
one of them did. I can say that much at least.
100% efficiency, mate.
If I was a 6 inches taller and I could jump over a jam tin, I probably would have got a kick as well, but I can't. So the ball kept going over my head.
So we're waiting.
Won't be today though.
Waiting in eagerness here for the first siren. Both sides. Terrigal Avoca would be the favourites in a normal course of events. Warners Bay probably would be closer than that today. Congratulations to Andy Baldwin on your 350th game, and we're underway with the first tap down by Cerniauskas. Gardner tried to get the first touch. Bit of bobbling around with hand pass. Jack Grimman-Lee was in the area as well. Almost comes out. Trying to work through the contest there was Gibbons. Looking to try and pick it up. Nice hand pass there from Ethan Hayes. It got it out, and that's a solid grab. Excellent mark taken by Harrison Pitt, who goes central looking for Bishop and finds the coach. Could have gone to Leecroft, who steamed down the field then. Bury looking to try and find a bit of space in that pocket. So they're starting into the breeze, Terrigal Avoca. That short ball looking for Grimman-Lee wasn't there. It was chopped off. Great effort there by Grimman-Lee, the reigning Elliot Davey medalist, and they'll get another stoppage. Geez, every time I watch him, Corey's I love the way he plays.
Yeah, he's a benchmark standard of the gruff midfielder, and Terrigal have wasted no time getting into their forward line. This is the second forward 50 entry already, so you can never count them out. High ball up towards the goal. Bury's underneath it. He's unable to take the mark on that occasion. He's got to his feet, got a hand pass away. They might end up with the first goal here through Burns. He's smothered off the boot, so there's no doubt about that. They're up and about. They know their back's against the wall. That will not stop them trying to produce their very, very best. Exciting piece of play there. And they are right in the coalface now, the Panthers, and putting Warners Bay on notice early on in the match. Big ball in, scramble at ground level. The Bulldogs have got hold of it. Burns gets over the loose ball. Gardner gets a kick away. And the sling helped him with some distance, but only as far as Alec Walters. Is it? No, that's not Alec Walters. It's Tyron Bird. So a youngster with a huge amount of talent here. He's had a few senior games now, Tyron Bird, and has established himself in the senior side. He's taken a mark about 40 out. Slight angle. The kick looks pretty good. Andy hasn't had to move much. No hands got to it. First goal to Terrigal Avoca Panthers. You cannot count out the wounded Panther. There's no doubt about that. Chris Bishop will be elated with that start. And it's exactly what Warners Bay didn't want. They need to have a good start here. They don't want to be chasing them down by the midway point of the game.
Yeah, good goal there from Tyron Bird. Played in the Sydney Swans Academy AFL Summer Series this year for the under-22s. Against both AFL Sydney and Canberra, and did quite well as well. So he's got the first goal. If you've got that on your bingo ticket, you've done well. Number 83 to score the first goal of the match. They go back to the middle, 3rd minute of the match, and Terrigal lead at 6-0. Cerniauskas with the big lead. Couldn't bring it down. Bishop tried to get it. Socket off the deck by Grimman-Lee. Nice effort in congestion, and they need to be clean here, Warners Bay, and they are. They try to get it out to Thomas. Thomas with the outside of the boot. Sends it inside 50. Dignam tried to tap it on. Worked through it. Here was Murray, who sent it to the sideline. And Jeremy Gosha sees it out of bounds, and that will be a lasso free kick to the Dogs. So Gosha, we're still pretty certain he's still an under 17. Chips it across to Gardner. And they begin the build through Cerniauskas, who can go very long if he wants, but he goes short to Hawes. That was Munns over the top. Trying to get it was Troutman. Hand pass Murray out to Leecroft. Leecroft chased down and a wonderful tackle. Jackson Kendall. Beautiful stuff. He's been excellent for Warners Bay this season, Kendall.
Kicked the bag in round 5, I think it was.
Certainly did.
Almost more, the most amount of bag raiders in the competition, the Bulldogs.
They certainly know how to find the sticks when they get moving. Zach Munn's got 10 last week. So Kendall from right on the arc. Sends it long. Has it got the legs? No, not quite. That was well taken. He's going to be chased down. Birkinshaw, no, got through. evaded the tackle, was strong through the core. Nice kick to about the 60, and Gagan takes the mark. So Warner's Bay's turn to put the pressure on. They send it back from where it came. Taking the mark, Amberg-Peterson. Or Pedersen. That was nice from Joel Amberg-Peterson. He's in the pocket. Last time we were here, Riley Hawes kicked a sensational goal from this pocket. Let's see if Amberg-Peterson read the script from last time. This to level the scores early in the contest. That's a good finish. Great finish. Amberg-Peterson levels it up, and we're in the first 5 minutes. We're a goal apiece.
Great response by the Warners Bay Bulldogs, home side here today. They'll be wanting a big performance. They're looking fairly close to a full-strength side. So, by rights, technically speaking, they should have the measure of the reigning premiers today, who at best have their B/C side, and that's no disrespect to the players out there, but when you know the raft of names that aren't out there at the moment, there's 14 of them or so played in a premiership for this side last year. Back in the middle, but a great response nonetheless. The Panthers to respond. Suniaskas, deft touch there. He goes backwards, finds his on-ballers with ease. And a quick cross across the ground there, and Cooper Daniels got a hold of it. He tries to find Hawes. He stretched and did everything he could. That's going to be a great contest between Lee Croft and Riley Hawes there today. He'll be trying to put an end to his raft of 5-goal hauls, one would think. Going close to the boundary line, and they wait for it to go. Tyron Bird just sees it over the ground. We don't often get to see the action from this close in the commentary box, and we love it. Bird, long kick forward, looking for Bury. Good to see the old stalwart back in the side. So scramble below knees. We'll see a stoppage ensue. So they've got a very strong defensive line, the Warners Bay Bulldogs, getting better and better with every week. Kick them by the Panthers. Up high, no mark taken. The ball's in dispute, loose. Gibbons, hand pass up. Teammate takes the kick. But the mark, right in the middle, Flynn Peters for the Panthers. He looks further afield. Taj Knight he's very agile. This young fella wheels around, puts the ball up, and a beautiful presentation. Outstanding delivery. And the Terrigal Avoca Panthers, through the agency of one Hayden Ellis, will have another shot on goal. So Hayden Ellis, this will test him, but he's getting more and more used to kicking goals in the forward line in first grade with every week that passes. Hayden Ellis, big launch. He's got onto that beautifully. It doesn't deviate at all. Number 2, goals coming in freely at the moment. We're 8 minutes in and we've got 3 goals already. 2 to the reigning premiers, who regained the lead by 6 points. And Warners Bay trailing by 6 points. One straight kick. I tell you what, I hope this accuracy continues.
Yeah, it's good goal kicking so far. So just under the 8-minute mark, as Corey said. And the margin is 6 to Terrigal. Much has been made of their troubles, their injury troubles. But you're never back against a champion. Back to the centre. Ellis in the ruck against Cerniauskas. He looks like he's going to dominate that all day. It just needs to find targets. Briscoe Hoff is an interesting player that's come from the Southern Football League in Melbourne. They drill it down to the centre forward region where Gagan takes the mark. So Gagan will send it back down the side. Gardner, it's gone over his head. Looking to get it. Here is Kendall. Drives it. That was a pretty good chase. And a lovely mark taken there by
Gary.
Gary's done well. Hand pass on. Good chain. And that kick should have been cut off by Gagan, who's had a couple of intercept marks already, but it's turned over to Walters. Great tackle. Holding the footy. Good desperation. And so the Dogs will take it. That was Gagan again. He's been pretty good early. Sends it down the side. Peters went over the top of it. Chasing it back and across. That's a good chase and tackle. Nicely wrapped up. That was Gowrie in the tackle there for Terrigal. So trying to move this hand pass. Nicely done. Could have been in the back there. Hayes. Play on says the ump. Ball still there. Nicely toe-poked off the ground. Bury sent it forward. And Walters in front of his opponent there, and Jurisic takes the mark. They've got to play in front. If they want success today, the Dogs. It's a one-on-one contest inside 50. Oh, brute strength. And that was there by Thomas. So Thomas, 45-50 out. He's going to go short and finds the target. Pretty sure it's Pitt. And Harrison Pitt will take it. 56 goals this season in 9 matches. He's on track for a century if he keeps going at the rate he does, or he has this season. This is his opportunity to get the first. I only kicked 2 goals in my life, but the breeze would suggest you'd go to the left goal post. And he's gone to the right one, and it's kept flying. Oh, nice mark. It's Walters, is it?
Certainly is.
Sure is. The benefit of when we have Terrigal Avoca, you got Mr. Panther right next to me. Give me all the names if I miss it. So Walters to go for a strike on goal. And he's missed it. Can't add to his tally of 15 for the season. So 1 behind, a bit of a let off there for the Dogs as Terrigal take a 7-point lead. Chop.
Yeah, be disappointed with that, Big Red. Alec Walters, he's a known goal kicker, runner-up in the Goolagong race last year, and plays, I guess, relatively second fiddle to Harrison Pitt, who's just destroying it at the moment. That was a very uncharacteristic misstrike by him, unless we count that as a pass, in which case it was very effective indeed. But Brandon Thomas, I'll bring attention to him. He's going to have an important role to play. He's also very much a noted goal kicker of the past of Terrigal Avoca, and part of the link-up with that piece of play there, he can kick a bag himself too. In fact, he kicked 10 in one game last year. As the ball, there's a pass between the Carney brothers there. Keep an eye on them. Great to see them in the first grade side together. First time in a little while. As the Bulldogs try and mount something here on the far side. Good contest. Needs to get rid of that ball. That's holding the ball by anyone's degree. But before that, it was a sling tackle. So Jackson Kendall, he'll get the kick and does very well with it too. Finds Gardner, who wastes no time wheeling around and looks for the missed match boot, which is the perfect match for Munzilla. Zach Munns looks further afield. I think he was looking for Hawes there. Hawes the only one who kept his feet. So he just moved straight between all the players who fell to ground. He probably could have kept going towards goal then, but wasn't aware of what was happening in the spatial surroundings. So in the end, he hand-passed it to the opposition, who I think ran it across the field. So probably not the worst result in the end for the Bulldogs as the ball comes back in for the stoppage. Great pick up there by Connor Betts, the old veteran. He wheels around, hand passes back in board, but the Panthers have wrested control of the ball off them, and they've got themselves out of danger with an exit kick up to the wing now. Walters has got work to do trying to reel in Samuel Gibbons. Gibbons receives it back again. They've got to go backwards to go forwards, the Bulldogs here. Now the ball in the hands of Mark Dignam. Took a couple of steps to get going, but it made up for it with that kick. It was a monster, absolute rainmaker. And the Panthers, albeit under pressure, managed to get the ball out with some aplomb. Taj Knight with the ball now, looking to the wing, trying to find Bishop. Bishop beaten by Gibbons on this occasion, who shows him a clean set of heels. And now the Bulldogs trying to mount something again. They're back inside their forward 50 with that kick. Leecroft unable to do anything with the ball there. He's tackled no sooner did he take possession of it. Wasn't Leecroft actually, it was Peters. Similar highlights in their hair. Peters and Leecroft must have the same hairdresser. Burns, the harm pass, a little hot for him. And Dignam gets hold of it again, sends another rainmaker into the forward line. But read better on that occasion by Coote, I think it is. He quickly moves it on. Finds Bird further afield. Waiting for something to present itself further afield. Very patient. Long kick down. Hayes the intended target. But getting in front of him was a young man who's been around for a few years now, Corey Deverell. It was the Deverell on his shoulder right then because he just punched it straight out of bounds. So stoppage at a dangerous area. Harrison Bond taking the ruck duties for Dignam. Bond probably got the better grasp of it, but it ended up going to the Bulldogs runners. And now a shot on goal. The Bulldogs look to sink their second one and do it well. Beautiful kick on that occasion, and the kicker was Tom Riley. And he adds number 2 to the Warners Bay Bulldogs defence here in the match of the round. I think it was Tom Riley. Let me see.
Pretty sure it was Campbell Connolly in the 38. It was Riley that gave him the hand pass, and then Connolly was in open space and just absolutely smacked it through the middle. That is some finish.
Full credit to Riley for roving that beautifully, but Connolly finished like an absolute demon there, and the Dogs are out.
So 9.5 minutes to go in the first term. It's a point the difference. Terrigal kicking into the breeze in the first. Could be 2 very important goals that they score in this quarter. Cerniauskas read it best. Backhand pass to Riley. He's just getting into the game. He sent it to the top of the 50. Pack forms. That's a great mark. Betts over the top. Hawes, 45 out. Wasn't set when he kicked it. Oh, it's gone to ground and it's hit the post. I reckon all 3 of them hit it then. And it's gone through for a point. I think it was Gosha that ended up smacking into the post at the end. So the Terrigal Avoca Panthers got away with one there. Riley Hawes just slipping as he tried to kick it. They send it down the side. That's a lovely ball there to, I think it might be Carney. They've changed a few jumper numbers here, Terrigal Avoca. They come across here to Lee Croft. So Lee Croft will take it. And he just says, steady down, boys. We'll find a bit of target, play a bit of tempo. Ball in the effort to Carney. Couldn't get it. Nicely picked up there. Bird, who started pretty well, went behind with it. Bond tried to hand pass it forwards. Hawes has a little bit of space. Looks up, tries to find his teammate there in Munns. Nice spoil from the back, Peters. That was outstanding from him. As he says, I'll have a bit of a spell, lads. I've done some great work early. And Peters comes off the ground. He's going to be replaced very, very ably there by Chris Murray. So that ball comes spinning back into play. Tap down Amberg Peterson. Hand pass, Hawes. This is Hawes' pocket. He just can't make a finish on that occasion. Can't work it back. Scores now Warners Bay in front by a point. 2-2-14 to 2-1-13. We've got about 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Great standard of football so far. Both sides really putting it in. And let's hope that this close contest remains. As Murray from the defensive line for Terrigal Avoca kicks it in the Bury direction, or I should say Walters, sorry. A quick succession of hand passes, and the Bulldogs are sending it back in. It's with Deverell now. He quickly runs around the mark. You're looking for Munns, who led beautifully. They've got a dangerous pair there. Munns down, injured. Let's keep an eye on that. He's clutching at his ankle when he went for that mark. Let's hope everything's all right there. We know how important he is to the makeup of the Warners Bay Bulldogs forward line. They're a dangerous combination between Munns and Hawes at the moment, so let's hope everything's all right there. He's still on the ground. As the Bulldogs try and reload, Deverell is having an absolute ripping season of football. The umpires called it, knowing the ball's likely to go into that direction. We really are concerned with Munns' condition at the moment. He looks like he's in a considerable amount of pain. He's up on his feet now, of course. The umpire will resume play through a ball up. He's going straight to the sidelines, mate. That's it. His day, it looks like it's done. And he's only just come back from injury. He's come off 10 goals last week. And I think a double bag, and we just feel for him. He's put so much work into his footy, this young man. A genuine excitement machine in the AFL Hunters Central Coast. And just a tremendous young guy to go with it. We hate seeing that. But I think going off the sidelines means your day's done. So they're down by a player, and a significant player at that, the Bulldogs. So they will have to rise now as they kick the ball back into their forward line. They are certainly directing traffic at the moment. The kick then by Jackson Kendall offline. they've ended up with another minor score, and we'll keep you up to date with what's happened with Zach Munns as we find out. Munzilla, let's hope that it's nothing too serious, but he probably won't be taking part in any further play in this match today. Birkinshaw brings the ball back in. He's found Chris Murray. Murray finds Burns. Short, deliberate and precise kicking by the Panthers so far, and that continues as Burns scorches one further afield. They're moving the ball well on that far side now. Latham Carney, one of two Carney brothers out there. He puts the ball up high, and that's marked by Taj Knight. So they've moved the ball beautifully coast to coast here, the Panthers, and now they've got a shot on goal themselves. Taj Knight probably about 40 out on an acute angle, but he is a classy young footballer, this man, and a great find, homegrown product for the Panthers. Premiership player already, and he pulls the trigger, kicks truly. That is a wonderful kick from that position. It would have really taken his best, and no doubt he brought that forward. So the Panthers regain the lead, 3-1-19, Warners Bay 2-3-15. This is a great game of football at the moment, make no mistake. As we see, we hate seeing that. We get the shake of the head as Zach Munns, and that's heartbreaking. He's just come back from an injury, and he's one of our favourites in here. He just sets the game alight, and we feel for you, Munsey.
He's one of the good ones, isn't he?
Let's hope he comes back. Just a great young bloke as well, you know. Hate seeing that. He's put that much work into his game, and it's proving so significant for the Bulldogs.
So we're back onto the game now as Troutman brings it inside 50. And that one will go out of bounds. So best wishes to Zach for recovery. However long that might take. It was a hefty fall. 3.5 minutes remain in this first term. Just trying to walk it off.
At least he's putting a bit of pressure on it. It's not.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can come back on if he's exited the ground by the boundary. Can he? Is that the rules anymore? Or?
I'll make no comment because the rules have changed so many times I can't remember them anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's come back in. Pretty sure this is Betts who needs to get rid of it and does. Hand pass over the top to Hawes. Hawes round the body and Hawes' pockets.
That is classy.
Stunning. That is brilliant. Riley Hawes gets him up and about. And the Dogs retake the lead by 2.
Did we catch that goal celebration? I'm calling that the show jump.
Well, we'll have a look on the replay.
He looked like a equestrian horse then.
Yep. Well, we can see on the replay it was a bit of a mixed-up kick. It was a lovely hand pass. Not sure it was. Pretty sure
That's
it was
a
Riley.
great, classy finish. Far out. That's epic.
Yep. Oh, he
Here
kicks
it
a
comes.
lot of
Here's
goals
the
from
celebration. Yeah,
There it
a
is.
little prance.
Yeah,
horse.
show jump.
Yeah,
That's a show jump right there.
I'll have to text him during the week and see if that was a made-up celebration or it's one that we've made up. So 2 points the margin here to Warners Bay late in the first term. Terrigal won't be unhappy with this, though, Chop. They're kicking into a breeze and they've got 3 goals.
Well, they know what it's all about. They know they're up against it today, and they will bring their optimum out, there's no doubt. So it's been a seesawing lead so far as Carney kicks towards the forward line for the Panthers. It's chopped off there, though, and they're off again now, the Bulldogs. Deverill takes the mark. They're a much more composed and controlled football side, aren't they? We've watched them steadily improve in recent seasons, and it's been a great build too. We've really enjoyed watching them become a better football team week in, week out. Of course, they had a hiccup a couple of weeks ago against the Wyong Lakes Magpies, but I imagine they've measured that game with some degree and worked out and ironed out those creases. But a scramble now, desperate to get the ball out. Betts does very, very well. Troutman's got it, squares the ball up. He's got Riley Hawes there, but it just eludes him by the narrowest of margins. He's being very closely watched by Murray at the moment from the Panthers, and the ball's gone out of bounds in the end. So we'll have a stoppage in a very dangerous spot. But they're very dynamic sending the ball back into their forward line at the moment, the Bulldogs. They've become a more controlled and precise football side, and they have started better out of nowhere, a shot on goal. But it's only a minor score, so they're peppering it a little bit. We know that they at times can hurt their prospects by missing their goal opportunities. Bishop, uncharacteristic drop of a mark there. We did have to stretch for it a little bit. Now the Bulldogs have control of it again. Betts is having a ripping game so far. He's wheeled around and sent another one in. This time the mark's taken by Carney, but the Bailey variety. So there are two of them out there. They look very similar and they will combine a lot. Grimmond Lee kicks the ball, puts a bit too much pepper on it, and it beats Pitt, only to find the great wall, Seb Thomas. Long bomb, look at that kick, straight into the hot spot, beats everybody. At the back, it's Peters who managed to rescue it. He's got Bishop on the far side. That's all she wrote for the first quarter, and what a riveting quarter it was too. 3 goals, 4-22. Warners Bay, the home side, lead Terrigal Avoca, last year's premiers, 3-1-19. It's a 3-point ball game, and it is thrilling too. The only downside of it so far is the unfortunate injury that we saw occur to Zach Munns, who we send him best wishes and we hope he recovers from that quick smart. Outside of that, you wouldn't think that the Terrigal Avoca Panthers were down so many personnel, would you?
And how good are these pictures on the mobile camera from Shane? He's just got it up and running this week. It's great to see. Scores from other games in the Cup. Maitland 22, the entrance, Batter Bay 10 at quarter time. Killarney Vale 28, Wyong 7. As that closed in on quarter time, Brandon Lloyd's got 3 goals. And in the Black Diamond Women's Cup, Terrigal Avoca have inflicted Killarney Vale's first loss of the year. And Newcastle City are only 3 points in front of Cardiff at 3/4 time. We'll go to a very short break. And we'll see you after that for all the action of the second term on AFL Hunter Central Coast. You've streamed it on the scene. Quarter-time break here at Fagan Oval, the home of the Warners Bay Bulldogs, the Kennel in their 50th anniversary. They lead this one against Terrigal Avoca Panthers by 3 points, 3-4-22 to 3-1-19. We've got all single goal scorers for Warners Bay: Riley Hawes, Campbell Connolly, and Joel Amberg Pedersen. For Terrigal, Hayden Ellis, Taj Knight and Tyron Bird, who, if you've got the bingo card of first goal scorers, was the first one today, the Sydney Swans Academy player. It's been a pretty even first term. I reckon Corey and Shane, if you were to score it in a boxing fight, I'd go Terrigal Avoca 10-9, only because they're kicking into a breeze.
Yeah, probably fair call, Ash, I reckon. But yeah, what does the lack of Munns do for the Dogs? Gives them, I suppose, one less target up forward.
Well, it's going to test them, isn't it? We spoke about it earlier, that this is the day that they get to try and knock the hoodoo of reputation off their shoulders, which I think has sat with them far too heavily for the last couple of seasons when they come against Terrigal. And we all know the depth and class of the Terrigal Avoca Panthers. They are perpetual finalists, if not grand finalists, in the last decade and a bit. And they are proving the reason why, even undermanned at the moment, as they get the clearance here through Grimmond Lee. But it's chopped off quickly by Jurisic. He rebounds now. Leecroft chops it off again in turn. A little high on the hand pass there for Taj Knight, and the Bulldogs are able to swoop on that now. High kick to their half-forward line. They've got hold of it through Gardner. His hot hand pass is chopped off by Gary. Gary doing a great job down there as a defender, usually a ruckman. So the fact that he's defending as well as what he's doing is hats off to him at the moment. The ball now in the hands of Grimmond Lee. Say a little hello to Alex Hazelwood, another injured Terrigal Avoca Panther walking past. Kicked downfield by Grimmond Lee. Picked up by the new player for the Panthers. It's already in the deep forward line now. They're trying to mount something, the Panthers, wheeling around. Is that Pitt who's got hold of it? He's kicked it forward. No, it's not. It's Hay, but it's in the hands of none other. Is that Brandon Thomas? He's got his first one for the day. I said it earlier today. He's going to have a critical role here, a late inclusion, but a known goal kicker is Brandon Thomas, and he's got his first one for today. Kicked 10 goals in a game last year towards the end of last season. If he could do that again today, I tell you what, the Panthers would be very pleased indeed. So first blood in the second quarter goes to the Terrigal Avoca Panthers, 4-1-25, and the lead changes again. Unsure how many times that's changed, but it'd be at least 5 or 6, I think, considering we've only had 7 goals kicked.
If you're interested in how many lead changes, you go to play-by-play on the Play AFL app. If you're at home, we'll do that one at halftime and see how we go, as Chop's phone's going off like a frog in a sock. And that looked like a high shot there on Deverill, so he'll take a free kick for Warners Bay. So
a mad fan trying to check in on Zach Martin.
I thought it might have been Chris Bishop.
Might have been
Chris Bishop giving the call up for next week. John.
Yeah, get in the team, mate.
Might be.
So over the top it goes, Amberg Peterson, nice little grab. Here's Troutman. He's pretty good from range when he decides to go. Not a bad kick, Peters. Hawes on the snap. Won't make the distance, but it's taken on the line, is it? And they're going to pay it to the big dig. Mark Dignam on the line. He dropped it in the end, and he's going to chip it over the top and get a goal. So the coach scores in what will be, it's either his first or second game of the year in first grade. And the Dogs get back in the lead. So if you're on Play AFL and go play-by-play watch, that could be the 6th or 7th change. You see Hawes went round the corner, and that's what happens when you play in front. If you're against the breeze, I haven't played as much footy as you have, I reckon. Chop, I've played about 140 games. I reckon you played a lot more than that. But
yeah, I have, but I didn't play much in front, I'll be honest with you.
Logic says you play in front.
Yeah, it does. I always tried to get in front, but often too lazy or too small. But, nonetheless, that is the right rule. And I tell you what, hasn't Mark Dignam got a role to play today in the forward line there? No doubt about that. Taken over as coach this year. He's doing a great job after succeeding Nathan Harkness, who was wonderful here for many seasons. Kick now. Panthers get the first clearance, but it's Seb Thomas. Great Wall Thomas, I'll call him. Hand pass now, that's Juricic. He's found Troutman, and they're back in the forward line, the Bulldogs, not mucking around at all, playing a great rebound style of football. As Riley Hawes gets hold of it again, he's starting to rack up the possessions now, Hawes. Back to Troutman now. He's been important. Over wide now, hand pass successions go back into the hands of Hawes. So dangerous and critical.
Oh!
But how about that? Big Red launches into the stratosphere with the mark of the day so far, taking control of it and undoing the good times down there for Warners Bay Bulldogs with that big leap. And we would love to see that again on the replay later on today or tonight, as Connor Betts has caught this time. He's dispossessed of the ball and penalised for it too. Panthers waste no time playing on and gaining territory. Their kick got the ball already down to their half-forward line. Brandon Thomas has thought he might have had a free kick there, but not going his way. Stoppage instead. Gowrie goes up. No one got their hands on it between him and Cerniascus in that ruck contest, so we'll end up having another stoppage anyway. And this time, Gowrie, Cerniascus tries to tap it off. Harrison Bond came around to ruin the party. Quick kick around the body. It's in way of Pitt. It's 3v1 now. Walters going to have to do very well here to stop this tirade. The Bulldogs have kicked it out of immediate danger. Troutman with that front spot over Leecroft. But the ball comes down to ground now. It's a scramble. High contact. Umpire didn't see it. So the game plays on. Bond comes flying through now. He's seen something now. Umpire Croft. And it's been paid to Leecroft. Sorry, that's not Ollie Croft out there, is it?
That's definitely not Ollie.
No, it's not. Sorry, he just looked like he stood like Ollie for a minute there. Kick towards Pitt. He lost it in the sunshine. They're playing a couple of players on Pitt. They know how dangerous he is, don't they? So a succession of hand passes now. Betts took him on. He thought he had it. He's played a great game. Long kick towards Mark Dignam, who manages to get a hand pass through the loop. But the kick into the forward line for the Bulldogs is a bit of a letdown. The Panthers have been able to chop it off, and now they will wrest control of the ball and try and mount something from their defensive line.
Ethan Hayes is down, and he hasn't moved for about 30 seconds in back play in the Panthers forward line. It's Birkinshaw. Chips it across to Carney. Still down Hayes. Carney's had a solid game. Both Carneys have actually this afternoon.
Yep.
Launches one towards the Bury direction. Good effort there by Gibbons. He played him very well. That one goes out of bounds, and we're not sure why we're stopping. I know why we're stopping the game, but the rules of the game say you can't stop it unless there's a stretcher. So it's unnecessarily being stopped at this point.
Ethan Hay he's up on his feet now, so they look like they're taking him to the interchange. So
yeah, he'll just have a stop. He'll just have a spell, and I reckon he'll be fine. He stayed down for a while, though, which looked quite tough, given I think it was a play that went in between the two of them, him and Harrison Bond, and they might have collided.
He looks a little dazed, so they'll probably do the concussion protocol on him, I imagine. But he didn't look too out of it.
All right. So Carney's back on the field. So we've got Bailey on the field now, and Latham. Tap down. I reckon that might be a free kick to the Panthers here. He got shoved out by the Lithuanian Lightning in Cerniascus. And so free kick to be taken there by Ellis, who kicked it straight into a player who was running past him. Cerniascus gets it over the top to Dignam, who gave it back to Daniel. Daniel went past a few. Dignam sent a spiralling punt kick into the air about 45, 50 metres out. And
I've got a question about that, Ash, after this passage of play. I've got a question about that kick just there.
Yeah, it was a little bit directionless, wasn't it?
Well, I think
there was someone inside his protected area.
Not a 50, yeah.
Oh, it was called play on. So
okay,
did it? I didn't hear the umpire say play on.
Yeah, I don't think these umpires talk a great deal in terms of their voice. So
I didn't hear the play on call, and the player on the mark hadn't moved. So I thought maybe he'd entered his protected space.
Yeah, no, I think we're looking at it from a different set of eyes there. So play on goes the ump, and it goes over the back. Looking to get at McDonald. Dignam trying to work through it there. Gibbons gets it back over the top there to Gosha. Beautiful switch of play here. Sees Warners Bay out. There's an opportunity here for Juricic to run. He sends a centering ball. That's a great kick. Pretty sure this is Riley. It is Riley. He takes it and sends it to half forward. Troutman. Oh, nice effort to fly Hawes. And the ball came down and roved, and Bishop got his man nice and clean there. That was Jackson Kendall. And we'll have another stoppage. So, bit of a stalemate here. It's 4-4-28 to 4-1-25. Dogs lead it by 3. Ball came down. Nice little kick forward. Trying to get there is Ellis. Bumped off the footy there was Hay. Grimmonley in a space. And he does exactly that with a kick, bursting through at the rate of knots. Here is Taj Knight in pursuit, Jurisic. Knight needs to be clean, burns off his man. Burns Jurisic, takes a bounce, goes inside 50, looks to finish. Taj Knight! That is special. What a finish from the youngster.
That is a ripping goal.
Magnificent goal. And Terrigal are back in front. That is the 5th lead change because I've checked it through Play AFL.
What an exciting prospect. Taj Knight is 2 goals today, and that was as good as you're likely to see. He absolutely burnt off Jurisic, and he's no slouch by foot either. But outstanding work. What a talent, and he's got lots to look forward to, no doubt at all. Taj Knight. You've got a Knight and a Bishop out there, so you've got 2 of your more powerful chess pieces, haven't you?
Yeah, they definitely play a role. Bishop's moved diagonally, though. I don't know if Chris can do that anymore with his knees.
I don't know. We'll have to check. But now, play resumes in the middle. Trying to burst through it is Deverell. And a free kick's been found. It's going the way of the Panthers. Jack Grimmonley on the bottom of the pack once again. A rampaging Birkinshaw receives the ball, sends it long down the forward line. Pitt tries to get up. Second effort is good. The ball's in a scrimmage. Pitt's got hold of Seb Thomas there and did away with him. Not an easy feat because Seb's not a small man by any measure. Digman comes in to take that ruck contest and does well, just plucks it out off the ground and takes off with it. Walters picks it up further afield. Hand pass to Peters. Peters puts it in a dangerous spot, but it's all Bulldogs that are converging on it. Quick hand pass out wide to the 50 gamer, Brady McDonald. Congratulations to that man. Probably a kick he'd rather lamentably forget as Tyron Bird takes the mark and kicks it inboard. Finds Ethan Hay, one of 2 Ethans. Ethan Hayes. One's a Hayes and one's Hay. So we'll point out the difference. Scramble inside the forward line now. Connor Betts kicks it up high. It's arrested by Hay. Ooh. Trying to come through now. That was Chris Murray, who was taken high by Hawes on that occasion. So Chris Murray, that's an intriguing contest between these 2 at the moment. Murray just following Riley Hawes wherever he goes, and rightly so too. He is deadly if you give him space. So Chris Murray kicks long, straight to the danger area. He's got Luke Bury camped underneath it, but the mark taken by Dignam. He's been effective down there in that defensive area in the last couple of minutes. Now the Bulldogs pull the trigger. Peters can't quite get it cleanly off the half volley. Heads towards the boundary line. That's a great tussle between those 2 players. And the ball now, I think it trickled over the boundary line, it seems. So we'll have a stoppage inboard. Bulldogs win advantage there, but it's swooped on by Burns from the Panthers. He sends it back inside the forward 50. Sam Gibbons rescues the ball for the Bulldogs, kicks it out. Diving mark attempt, not taken, unfortunately, and the Bulldogs get away with it. Another diving attempt, this time by the Bulldogs, ineffective. Flynn Peters takes advantage of that. He kicks it down long, and it is a seesawing event here. Great Wall Thomas takes the mark. Sets up, patiently awaits for the right thing to arrive, and it does indeed, in the form of a Deverell. Further kick straight down the line, but unfortunately, the bounce of the ball beats everybody, and we have gone out of bounds. So we'll have a stoppage on that far side. It's actually a lasso rule, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a lasso free kick to Birkinshaw. So Terrigal Avoca will take it. It's near the scoreboard. Just over half of the second term played. Deverell back and across. Looking here for Riley. Sends it long. Direction of Hawes. Good contest. He took out Murray well. He came back well and gave away the free kick, though. So Hawes takes the free kick.
Done that cleverly, didn't he? He knew Murray was on his hammer.
Yeah, he's been very good today. Hawes sets sail from outside 50. Oh, that is outstanding from there. And it's touched on the line. Baldwin right on the spot, the 350th gamer for the NCCUA. And he says, no mas. One behind.
Gosh, that's exciting, though. He's
2 points the margin.
He's off his head.
2 points the margin as we continue to move it. Bishop at halfback. He tries to send it. That's a lovely kick. They're going to move this football clean and send it in the pit direction. Thomas has his number this afternoon so far. They just haven't hit it in pit's direction in the way that it should be hit to him. Trying to go up and about, and they need to hit it a bit lower to keep Thomas's height out of it. So Thomas down the wing. It's a good mark taken there. Pretty sure it was Betts from Amberg-Peterson. He goes down the side. Lovely kick there looking forward. Kendall. Kendall can run and gun here. He's about 50 metres out. He continues inside 50. It's a one-on-one in the square. They won't need him. Jackson Kendall goes bang. And the Dogs take back the lead with 10 minutes to go until half-time. Through the agency of Jackson Kendall, the youngster, it's 5-5-35. Terrigal 5-1-31. Let's have a look at the replay of that goal.
They were just signalling, weren't they? They were saying, go long, go long. He did. Right decision.
And so this seesawing encounter continues. Warners Bay now back in the lead. It's virtually goal for goal. They haven't kicked a point since midway through the first quarter, I think it's been. So some nice, straight, exciting goals other than Riley Hawes just before. I apologise. But yes, 3 points the margin. Ball up in the middle now. The Panthers, pressure on them to respond. They've been doing it so far, and at very least, they have the knowledge that Harrison Pitt hasn't really even entered the fray yet. And should he decide, that's definitely going to be some resistance, there's no doubt. As the Bulldogs try and clear it from their defensive line again, the Panthers certainly on top of them with the centre clearances, but their rebound footy is very good at the moment, Warners Bay. So we have a stoppage on the far side. Ball up. Walters probably had the better of it on that occasion. Leans down, picks it up, tries to get a toe poke out. Doing well here, playing the role of a rover as well as Walters. But Cerniascus gets hold of it. So holding the ball, I'm not sure how that call was arrived, but it was nonetheless. And Chris Bishop in turn spears one onto the chest of Ethan Hay, who is now in striking range and has an opportunity to respond to the Warners Bay goal a moment ago. Ethan Hay, not to be confused with Ethan Hayes. 45 out, right on the 50. High, look straight. It's over. What a goal. We are absolutely being treated to some wonderful majors here from both sides. And that was one of the finer. Just a terrific kick, hard up on the boundary. And I tell you what, the degree of difficulty of that one would be in the 8.7s for sure.
Let's have a look at this replay. That goal umpire, I can tell you, he's not in the right position to give that decision because it's on the goal line. He's got to straddle the post. But anyhow, what would I know? I was reliably informed during the week. I didn't know what I was talking about. So there's a centre bounce clearance here to be won.
Reliably?
Terrigal in front by 2.
I would have said reliably at the beginning of that.
So Terrigal in front by 2 points, 6-1-37, Warners Bay 5-5-35. Ball goes to ground, handball to space. Here they go again now, the Panthers. It was Ellis to Bishop to Carney, and it's over the top of Pitt's head again. Nicely roved off the pack, Pitt. He's a little bit off it today, unfortunately. That's a ripped head. His head's been absolutely ripped off. And that'll be a free kick there to Toby Burns. Well, if you're going to get nothing right in the game, at least get the high free kicks right, that's for sure. If you get nothing else right. And Toby Burns will take the free kick to extend the lead for Terrigal to make it an 8-point game. Outstanding footballer, Toby Burns. Multiple premierships for Terrigal. Sends this all the way to the line. And the goal umpire will tap himself and make the right decision on that occasion for a point. So 3 points the margin with under 6 to go. As Seb Thomas is about to bring it in here for the Warners Bay Bulldogs. He had a bit of a transformation a couple of years ago when he must have done some massive work in the gym. He's one of the premier backs of the competition as they send it. Nice and long, pushed out of the way. Cerniauskas couldn't get the mark. Grimmonley, little bit of a hand pass. Running through there, Cerniauskas. Bird went to ground, did well. Hand pass, Cerniauskas with the intercept. Gardner with the fist. Ball comes out the back here to Riley. On the chase here, Briscoe Hoff. Lovely tackle. Grimmonley tries the kick, nicely smothered. Gardner needs to pick this up and he'll get in some space. Win it backwards there to Daniel. Nice pressure there from Hayden Ellis. Back to Gardner. They're doing well. Terrigal Avoca. That was a late shot. No free kick paid. Bishop gets the fist in the way. McDonald overrun. Here go the Panthers again. Lee Croft sends it forward. Carney and Gibbons charging through as well. There is Gosha. That's a great effort there from Bailey. There was Gibbons. He sends it over the top to Troutman. Troutman now on the wing. He's got about 15 metres of space. Takes a bounce near the scoreboard. Sends it over the top. Lovely kick. They try to work it into space and it's a mark taken by the Dogs. They're going to send it in short, looking for the lead. And a good mark taken in the end. And I think it might be Amberg-Peterson again. That was a very good challenge there from Carney. He couldn't affect the free kick. Too many numbers for the Dogs. And it's a chance for Warners Bay to get back in front. This will be the 8th lead change in the match, if he can strike it. Joel Pedersen. And he's missed it. So 2 points the margin, Corey. 4 minutes to go. Terrigal, well, I reckon they'll be the happier of the two sides at halftime.
Yep, well, it's always handy to take in the lead, albeit narrow as it is. Still time to score, though, by either side. So the game well and truly in the balance. And it's been a riveting first half indeed. Both sides doing the best with their opportunities. And some of the goal kicking's just been superb. Very, very enjoyable indeed. We hope you're enjoying this at home. We're certainly being put on display here in the match of the round for the AFL HCC Black Diamond Cup Men's Division top tier footy. As the Bulldogs emerge from this little contest with it and send it in the goal direction to Riley Hawes. That's 3 for him. He is somewhat of a gemstone indeed. What a pickup he's been over the last couple of seasons for the Maitland Saints. He's kicked 3 bags already this year, and he's on target for another one in a game that's boasting no less than 5 bag raiders here today. 2 from the Panthers and 3 from the Bulldogs. Riley Hawes looks like the first one who might chase one down today. He is a elite level talent.
So 2 for Riley, 1 for Dignam, 1 for Connolly, 1 for Kendall, and 1 for Amberg-Pedersen. For the Panthers, Taj Knight has 2, Bird, Thomas, Hay, and Ellis. Rare to say Harrison Pitt hasn't got a goal to halftime. There's still 2 or so minutes to go as Bury gets a tap down. Bishop overran. He held his opponent before the ball went in the air. The umpire just picked it up. Free kick there to the Dogs. Streaming off halfback. That kick goes backwards, not in the way that Thomas really needed it. Pitt gave him one afterwards, and it'll be a downfield free kick. That's a sign of a frustrated forward. As McDonald goes central. Dangerous kick. Gibbons will get it. They're going to try and switch play here. He's got Gosha. That's not the best kick from Gibbons, but it'll be cleaned up here by Jurisic. Tries to sell the candy on Ellis, who said, I'm going straight for you. Ball went to ground. Looking for it now is Coote, who dashes off halfback and goes to Knight. Knight just needs this ball to sit. He did better than what the ball suggested, to be honest. Back to Grimmonley, the master.
Jurisic down.
It sends it forward. And the mark taken again there by Thomas Pitt. Is not getting any good service today. Shaking his head. He's a very frustrated man. So still down there is Jurisic under the massive tackle from Ellis. Bury in the contest. At the back there was Gowrie. He's done well again, Gowrie. Amberg-Peterson with the tackle. Trying to go through it there. Lee Croft might have been Peters. Peters it was. Bury with the opponent. They go to ground, chop with 45 seconds remaining.
Yep, 45 seconds left, and it just put the attention over to Jurisic, who's still down on the ground as play resumes here. Gowrie gets a hand pass to Bishop, who hurriedly puts it up high, just metres shy of Pitt, and instead Deverell of the Karori variety takes the mark, unassailed. Kicks the ball quickly, deliberately. Two Panthers sort of spoiled each other there. That was Bird and Peters. But nonetheless, they've held the ball up. As Jurisic is on his feet now, it looks like his shoulder, he's clutching there. But what concerns me about that is the way Hayden Ellis sort of straight away called out to medical staff as soon as he'd made contact with him. It was a fair tackle. It was all within the realms of it, but obviously with a bit of force. He's not a small guy, Hayden Ellis, so we hope Jurisic is all right. He's up moving around now. But what an intriguing encounter. 6 goals, 6:42. Warners Bay managed to take in the lead to a 6-2-38 against the Panthers. It's a 5-point deficit and a very handy lead to take in nonetheless, albeit under one straight kick. So this is fast turning out to be a very, very enjoyable, entertaining game. I'm not too sure which way it'll go, but it's going to be an interesting finish, and we look forward to seeing the back half of this one. Please join us after this break. We'll carry on with the match of the round here at Fayon Oval between the Bulldogs and the Panthers.
But Shane, who we've got on the podcast now, mate, he's only played 53 games, this bloke, Kai McIntosh Walsh. He's on our screen now. He's been in the best players more than half the time he's played, so he's obviously a key player for the side. Started in 2023. He's played finals every single year he's played senior football, which is not something a lot of people get to say. Played in a 2025 grand final last year, and then City sort of went over the top after Wong had that outstanding comeback at three-quarter time. He was a rising star in the Black Diamond, played in 2023, and every year he's played, Shane, he's made the team of the year in the Black Diamond, played an outstanding footballer. I had the opportunity to have a quick chat to him on the 50th anniversary. He's a really top fella, and I found out he supports Collingwood, which is even better. Kai McIntosh Walsh, scene stealer, mate. Welcome to the Black Diamond podcast, mate. Tell us how you got into footy.
Sorry, what was that?
Tell us how you got into footy.
That's through Dad. Dad played a bit of footy down in Canberra, down in South Australia, and then when we moved up here, he played a bit of footy for the Lakes back in early 2000s, early 2010s, yeah.
And what took you so long to get into it then? And Ash was just saying it's only your third or fourth year. What were you doing the rest of the time?
Well, I played footy up until I was about 12 or 13, and then started playing baseball and committed to baseball. Went and played down in Sydney and a little bit in the Australian League, and then lost a little bit of love for the game and had to scratch the footy itch, so...
Yeah, so were you playing Claxton? Were you playing some Claxton Shield down there?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And
with the Blue Sox, yeah.
I don't know much about the Claxton Shield. It's basically the national comp. I do know a little bit about baseball, having had a massive affiliation with the Melbourne Monarchs back in the day when I was a lot younger, probably Kai's age. Melbourne Monarchs were a professional Australian baseball team in the original ABL, and they had... some really good players come down from America. Don Lemon was one of them, and John Molan, who was an outstanding pitcher for Pittsburgh. So mate, that's outstanding. Where'd you play as a baseballer?
Shortstop, second base, up the middle.
There's your speed right there. Speedy to do that. Mate, you kick it. You're really playing well off halfback. And I only got to watch you on TV on Saturday. I really love watching you in person because the way you move around the ground so unique. But on Saturday, you look like a man possessed in the first quarter and a half. What was that all about?
There was a little bit of chat. I hadn't kicked a goal all year. And Smythe threw a little jab at me in the leadership group chat, saying he likes his halfbacks to push up the ground and kick goals. So kind of had to play that up a little bit and get one on the weekend.
It was a good goal too. I think your execution of the goal was probably a bit better than Ash's calling of the goal. I think we misnumbered you there for a second, but we got you in the end. So well done on that. Feels as though you've really got a thing. You know, we spoke to Nathan Doyle a couple of weeks ago, and you and Nathan were connecting so well through the middle there. You know, multiple hand passes back and forth, and that drive through really felt like it caught the Saints off guard. Dynamic duo. You guys must be enjoying playing together.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan's an absolute stud in the midfield. Does a lot of hard work and probably makes my job a little bit easier. That he's there, yeah.
Interesting stat. Braden Toss's played 4 games, the last 4 games for you blokes, and you've won 3 of the last 4. Do you attribute a lot of the success to Braden coming back in the team? He's a massive influence on you blokes, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. As a footy player, he's unreal as always. But also just as a leader, like takes charge and lets us know when we need to pick it up, and definitely gets the boys fired up and ready to run through a brick wall.
You were speaking of brick walls. You were being hit by a few brick walls there on the game. I think there was probably a couple of maybe bit of late contact there. I'll leave that for the umpires to comment on. But you certainly got knocked around. You came off at one stage. It looked like it was a shoulder or a neck or something like that. How'd you pull up on Sunday morning?
Yeah, it was my shoulder. I've had a few issues in the past with it, and just that tackle just kind of landed on it a bit funny. But it wasn't too bad on Sunday. Little stiff, little sore, little achy. But nothing to worry about. And I'll be back at it this weekend.
And you've got the Bombers on Saturday, mate. Bit of a tougher ask on Saturday at Enterprise Envisage Property Oval. I was going to say Enterprise Oval, Envisage Property Oval. You had an 184 to 11 point defeat in round number 2. What are your main sort of points during training this week? What are some of the things Simon's been talking to you about?
It's been a little bit difficult getting on the park this week. We've had to kind of shift our training elsewhere to some underground area, so working in just a tight space. But it's just reinforcing what we've done against Cardiff, Warners, and Maitland. It's just our ball movement and continuing to back ourselves. When we played KV last time, our team was very fresh, very new. A lot of the boys hadn't played together. So now that we've played a few games, everyone knows how each other play, and we've kind of built that chemistry. So we just continue how we've been playing footy over the past 4 weeks, yeah.
Plenty of chemistry, but there's plenty of heart as well. I think that's probably been the bit that's impressed us most in the 2 games we've seen of the Magpies, is just how everyone's just bought into the, let's get it done because we just need to scrap and get it done. Is there an embedding process when you talk about these new guys coming in? How do you get them to play that Magpie brand of football?
To credit to most of them, they've all come in and fully committed in being a Magpie and just adapting to our brand of footy. We've got a few guys like Lock Ranger, Tossie, Carter, Keaton, Coop that all live and breathe Magpies footy, who play that hard style of footy, and once they get going, everyone just kind of gels around that and plays off them. So, yeah.
Ross Main's one that's had to adapt to a different brand of footy because he came from AFL Sydney, didn't he? I believe Parramatta.
Yes, yeah.
Talk to us about him coming down, because I think when he started at the club, he moved to the area, and Wyong Lakes was the closest club to his house, from what I remember.
Yeah, pretty much. But from when Bryce started, he had all the tools to kind of gel into our game style. He had the speed, could kick, could run, could jump, had a body on him, could get a hard ball. So all the tools he already had, he just kind of slid straight into our system, and was able to excel.
Lovely. And around the group, if I think if we'd said at round 6, would you be happy with 3 wins for the year? I think the answer would have been, yeah, we'll take 3 wins for sure. You've now got those 3 wins, 3 of the last 4, still another 8 weeks of the season to go. Have you set any targets for what you can achieve as a team, when it comes to wins or even potentially making finals?
Finals is definitely our objective now that we've won 3 in the last 4. And, getting in that top 6 is definitely where we see ourselves at the end of the season and playing finals footy.
And you've got Nelson Bay the week after, then the bye, and then after the bye, come back and play the entrance Bateau Bay. That game there could be a really pivotal one for a place in the finals, because it is a top 6 that's been promoted by the league this year, which I think is great for sides like yourself and the entrance and Cardiff, who are below you at the moment, which is, quite a rare feat. What's the sort of talk around the club in terms of, your future prospects?
At the moment, it's just we're focused on this season. There's a little bit of stuff in the background where we're trying to get bits and pieces together for next season, because we learned from the start of this year that we started pretty slow. And we definitely don't want that to happen again. So getting bits and pieces organised in the background, but full focus on just making finals and getting as many wins as we can this season.
Fantastic. Kai, thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we finish up?
Just Nathan Doyle and Logan Kubica. Great guys.
Nah, good on you, Kai. Thanks again, mate. It's a privilege to talk to you, mate, have a chat to you, and all the best for the rest of the year for you and the boys. I don't think we see you for about another 3 or 4 weeks now, so all the best for the next few weeks, and keep up the great work down at Don Small Oval, mate. You're all doing a fantastic job.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's Kai McIntosh Walsh, our scene stealer from last week. We'll get him that voucher in a few weeks too, Shano. Welcome back to Fagan Oval. It's half-time here, and it's a wonderful contest in Prospect. Warners Bay 6-6-42, Terrigal 6-2-38. Ashley Borg and Shane Darwin with Corey Hopper in the broadcast. It's a great game. It's a very even game, and it's a tense game in this second half. Warners Bay are down to 2 on the bench at this stage with injuries to Urisic and Munns. Corey, does that gives Terrigal a big advantage, doesn't it? 2 players extra.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, where they play at such a fast pace here in the top tier that you need those rotations, and we're finding even in our Black Diamond Men's Cup competition, the rotations are plenty. They make lots of changes, and not having 2 players, especially those 2 players who do an awful lot of ground covering, it's going to make it a little hard. They'll start to fatigue and get a little tired, but we know that Terrigal are against it with injuries as well, and I imagine they'll feel the pinch too. As we get underway, big punch by Walters, goes forward. Bond gets a hand pass up, but it goes to the opposition, and Deverell is having another great game. He kicks long into the forward line. Peters is tackled, holding the ball. Didn't make enough effort to get rid of that, the umpire says. And the free kick now to be taken by the Bulldogs, looking for Hawes and finds him. That was a beautifully weighted kick. Just so neatly done. And Riley Hawes will go to kick number 4 for the day in a side that's only kicked 6. Is this for 5, Ash?
3.
It's 3, is it?
He's got 3.
He's got 3.
Well, he's only got 2, has he? No, I've
Sure
got him down as 2. I'll check play AFL again.
Well, it's 3 or 4. I'm going to say 4. Ashes go with 3. One way or another, he is on bag rating form. Riley Hawes, just exciting. Already with 3 bags of 3 hauls of 5 or more this year. He's sitting, I think he's 7th on the goal kicking tally. And just really making a mark on the competition as a whole. Riley Hawes just slots another one through. He's got a wonderful set shot, hasn't he?
Yeah, he knows how to hit them. 3 goals today and 5th on the goal kicking.
Is it 3?
Yep. Just checked it on Play AFL. So 7 goals, 1 to Dignam.
Who are their goal kickers?
1 to Connolly, 1 to Dignam, 1 to Kendall, and 1 to Amberg-Peterson, and 3 to Hawes.
Right.
Back out of the middle they go. This is Riley. Great tackle by Grim and Lee. He needs to step it up. Don't know how much more he can step up when you Jack Grim and Lee, but he's going to need to really stand up today as they're short. Goes across to Burns. Burns looking for the quick response. Terrigal Avoca. Great kick. It's a wonderful hit. Might be Briscoe. It might be Briscoe Hoff.
Briscoe Hoff it is
the
indeed.
man from the Southern Football League, East Brighton, if my memory serves me correctly. One of the, wouldn't say it's a premier local league in Melbourne. Eastern and the Northern Football Leagues and the Essendon Football League are quite strong. But here goes Liam Briscoe Hoff. That's a great kick from range. Oh, and a massive hanger on the back. That's Carney. Bailey Carney. My goodness, what a grab. He almost tickled the top of the point post.
Yeah, that's great work.
That is incredible.
B Carnage.
And he's going to get himself a certain goal and restore the margin from half-time. That was incredible from Bailey Carney. And he finishes the job.
Let's have a look at the replay of this mark. Here we go.
Let's have a look at it. This is incredible. I think he almost goes on the behind post. Goodness.
Well, he got over the top of Luke Bury, and we know he's no midget, Luke Bury. So, great work. Jeez, it fills my heart with joy seeing the Carney boys playing such a pivotal role here in the senior side. They've been at the club since the Gosford Football Club fell apart, and they have really worked hard on their game and dedicated themselves to the club at Terrigal, who have embraced them in turn. And they were wonderful talents in their last. They only took up football at the age of 17. So and I was privileged to be their coach through that season and their first senior coach as well. And it just fills my heart with joy seeing how well they're doing here at Terrigal. Really does. As Walters gets another big decisive punch for the Panthers. But he doesn't have runners at the fall of it. And the Bulldogs have taken off again. It's sort of a mirror image of the last quarter with the Bulldogs getting the last 2 clearances. Grimm and Lee now, however, they've turned it over. And they've got control of the ball again, the Panthers, sending it towards their forward line. No mark taken for Briscoe Hoff. But now, is it Bury, I think, who's got a toe poke to that one. Sends it closer towards the Terrigal direction goal. Walters is in the fray again. He kicks a long one forward. And reading it beautifully there is Brandon Thomas. He'll kick another one here. He may waste no time sending it through. And the Panthers, just like that, a 2-goal response to Warners Bay opening up scoring here in the third quarter. And a veritable goal fest here in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. Yes, he's taken that mark well. He's playing an important role, Brandon Thomas. Very capable table tennis player as well, is he? But right now, he's only thinking of football.
I think they've got the matchup wrong on him, to be honest. They need someone a lot stronger than Lewis Murphy, because he's been pushed out the way several times by Thomas in this game.
Thomas is conceding a few inches in height too, so that's a dangerous matchup indeed if he's winning that decisively.
Oh, he won that way too easily in the marking contest then. So back to the middle, and Terrigal Avoca refuse to lie down. They're 2 points in front. Long way from home at this point. Out the middle, Burns around the body. Chasing it, Ellis. Couldn't get there. Working to get it, Gosha. Good contest between those two. Ellis keeps it in front of him. Slick hand pass, Grimm and Lee. Shrugs the tackle beautifully and sends it inside 50. Looking for the targets again. It's gone over the top. And the Dogs clear it away. This could be a Lasso free kick depending on the bounce. Stays pretty good. That's a high shot. Should be a free kick, and it is. Taken is Chris Murray. Played that well, Murray. Went a little bit low. Went a little bit. That should have been a free kick. Goodness. There you go. All right, so back in there. Down by Cerniauskas. Burns around the body. Nice little smother. That one will go out of bounds. And nicely smothered there from Tom Riley, who for mine at the moment is one of the best on ground. And number 60 has been excellent today. A lot of clearances. Great run and carry. So back again. Cerniauskas outbodies his opponent. Did well in the contest. That's a nice tackle there on Bond. He just keeps scrapping away, Bond. Swapping ruckman out again. Cerniauskas and Ellis. Ellis with body strength. Burns went round the side. He's going to pick this up on the rove. No, he kicks it off the ground. Nicely done. Terrigal inside 50. Walters taps it to the advantage. It's turned over here to the Dogs. Short little chipping ball. And they're going to reset here. They're at centre half back, the Dogs. Carney with a big effort to try and get over the back. Birkinshaw and Dignan, the 2 big men, go at it. Went straight over their head. Smothered off the boot. Play on, says the ump. They try to work it. Amberg-Peterson went the short ball. Not overly the best, but gives his teammate time to steady and measure it, and that's Kendall. And Kendall puts the Dogs back in front with his second. It wasn't a bad effort in the end, really. I thought the chance might have been gone when Amberg-Peterson hit short, but Kendall did enough. And we'll go to the replay to see the build-up to that goal.
Probably just a crucial fumble by Gowrie. It wasn't the easiest one to pick up at ground level, but it just escaped him. And if he had been able to arrest control there, possibly would have got the Panthers out of danger. But I tell you what, a decisive move right now is the move of Walters in the ruck. He's won every one of these ruck contests decisively, and it could be a real headache for the Bulldogs, whereas Cerniauskas was sort of dominating it earlier on to the day. There he is again. He's roved his own ruck knock there, Walters. So that could be a good move for the Panthers in the end, as Bishop tries to receive a looping hand pass by Bury. Didn't go quite as cleanly as he would have liked, and as a result, we'll see a stoppage. Not the worst result. We're at centre half forward. There's shepherded him out there was Cerniauskas. So Harrison Bond, who's come into the ruck here, he's found Walters with a short kick. Now, Walters could go the distance here. He will kick it from right on 50, and he has got a range kick indeed. He's the great hope of the Panthers. You can see he's a towering physique. Put on a little bit of muscle again from last season by the looks of things. So the big red, Alec Walters, going for his second today. He's playing an important instrumental role for the Panthers in the ruck and up forward. That kick didn't quite go the journey, unfortunately, and Seb Thomas manages a saving kick. Short ball out. They're very clinical, removing the ball from the defensive line, the Bulldogs. That kick not so effective. It's fallen short. The Panthers created the turnover. But they've done it. They've got it back, the Bulldogs. They've done very well. Resuscitated things back in their favour. High leap by Bird. He can't bring it down. It seems just natural that a Bird would get up high like that, wouldn't it? So the ball at ground level now. Panthers calling for something, and they get it something. Harrison Bond, effective tackle. Inboard, finds Bishop. He takes the mark. Uncharacteristic for Bishop to miss kick like that. Troutman makes the most of it. The kick's quick, just outside of the reach of Leecroft. The bounce favours Hawes. Hawes has one bounce, two bounce, running into a goal. And he kicks and decides to give his coach a goal instead. Nicely done. What a controlled effort that was. And that was not a miss kick, folks. Make no mistake. Hawes saw Dignam on his own across the face and was able to pull up enough, even though he was galloping at full speed like a genuine thoroughbred. But now it's Mark Dignam who'll finish it off. And that is fair payback right there.
Missed it.
Except that the big dig is offline. Well, what a disappointing end to a great build-up, and I imagine Mark Dignam will chastise himself for that one.
Sure will. So they bring it back into play now, Terrigal. Not the best kick, not the best attempt to mark either. It's a little bit scrappy here at Fagan at the moment as Grim and Lee. Downfield free kick has to be. If it isn't, I'll go on there and pay it myself. Advantage played. Shouldn't be advantage because they're non-controlling, but Thomas is going to stream into an open goal and finish it. Takes advantage of the situation. Grim and Lee started the move. Thomas finishes it. And Terrigal go back in front by a point.
Well, that's the third goal for Brandon Thomas. And as I called it early on, he is a critical part of the makeup of the Panthers, especially given the absence of so many of their regular players, especially in that forward line, and also with Harrison Pitt yet to kick a goal. So who would have thought after almost 2.5 quarters of play, Harrison Pitt, the leading goal scorer for the year, he's kicked technically 8 bags in 10 rounds of football. He's an absolute goal-scoring machine, yet to kick one. So heaven forbid he comes into play with a late surge. As the ball pushed by the Panthers towards their goal along the ground out of this clearance. Bishop, quick hand pass, finds Burns. Burns hand passes over the top of his head. It's taken off by McDonald. Now quick succession of hand passes, sees the ball in the hands of Gibbons. The funky Gibbons kicks one forward. It's picked up by Chris Murray on the half volley, but he has no opportunity to do anything with it and is quickly wrapped up. So we'll have a stoppage, and rightly so. Walters, Cerniascus, front spot there, does well. Gets it down to Deverell, but he's wrapped up quickly. We'll replay that stoppage. What a great game, enthralling, 55-56. 1 point in the margin between these two. It would be easy to suggest that this should have been the game that Warners Bay were able to control from the outset and all the way through. But a couple of injuries and a very gallant performance by the B team of Terrigal Avoca Panthers sees this as a 1 point deficit. And we will go into a great final quarter, no doubt. Scramble here. We'll go for another stoppage. This will be the fourth one within a minute. Setting up now. Cerniascus rucking very well. He's effectively using his body to block Walters out from having a free run at it. But a free kick's been found here. Bond's starting to really come into the game, especially with his physical presence. And he's found Brandon Thomas with a great kick. He's launched himself at it. Brandon Thomas kicks this. It'll be his 4th goal. And he is proving a very effective foil whilst Harrison Pitt is on somewhat of a hiatus, one would say. He'll kick this from 40 out, or maybe 35. Slight angle, not beyond him at all. In fact, should be rudimentary. Brandon Thomas, lovely striker of the ball, makes no mistake, straight through the middle. That's 4 for Brandon Thomas. He's on fire for a bag. It's not bad, is it? Pop him for 1 game for the year and kick a lazy bag. I think he did that when he kicked the 10 in round 14 or so last year.
Yeah, I believe so. He doesn't play many at first grade. When he does, he's very impactful.
He's from the Essendon area that you mentioned earlier, down in Melbourne, so great pedigree.
Essendon's a good spot for local football. The old league that I was in was the one next door to it in the Western. It used to be the old Footscray League.
Good or bad leagues, just growing up playing football in Melbourne means you've been born into the sport, haven't you?
You grow up with it. It's a religion. So back to the middle they go. Walters, this is a master stroke from Bishop, the move to Walters in the middle, as Corey said a few minutes ago. He's been really neutralising in the ruck. That backdoor hand pass from Riley came out multiple times during this game. Peters over the top, looking for a teammate there in Coote, who turns the ball over. This is a chance from range here from Carl around the body. He's missed it to the right. That was an opportunity. Margin goes back to an even goal. 9.5 minutes to go in the third term here. Warners Bay kicking with a slight breeze. Terrigal will come home with it. Give you some updated scores from the Cup as soon as we're able. Carney at the back of this pack. That's a nice mark. Amberg Peterson. He's had a good game. He's been solid.
He's got strong hands above.
Sends it into the Dignam direction. Takes 2 to tango with him. Oh, overrunning it just was Kendall. And the Panthers in trouble. Play on, said the umpire. Cook gets the hand pass backwards. Sends it into the danger. Oh, that's an outstanding effort. Who do you give that to? The man in front, surely. It's got to be a mark to Burns. Good umpiring decision. So Burns will send it wide. He was held then, Grimmonlee. Shrugs off Daniel. Grimmonlee gets a kind bounce. Sends it long now. That's a good kick. Into the space. Looking for his teammate to run. Oh, that Dogs player went to ground. It could cost him, and it does. Holding the footy. Panthers starting to put their stamp on it as Taj Knight sends that ball into the pick direction, and that is a better kick. It's a kick into his wheelhouse, into his zone where he can just run into it. And he turns and he goes quickly for goal. Pitt measures it. And it can't be a game of Black Diamond Cup footy where Harrison Pitt doesn't get a goal. And it won't be today either. He's got his first. And the Panthers extend the lead to 13, Corey.
I hate to say it, but this is ominous signs for the Warners Bay Bulldogs now. We are looking at the biggest margin, I think, for the game, 12 points. It's only 2 goals. In the grand scheme of it, doesn't mean much. But what is concerning is Walter's domination of the ruck right now and what it's doing to give Terrigal first hands on the ball. But the fact that Harrison Pitt, who would be fuming within himself that he hasn't been impactful in the game or influential yet, has just kicked his first goal. And it more often than not, that first one leads to quite a few others in its wake. So Brandon Thomas has done a great job as playing as foil for him while he got himself going. If Harrison Pitt's about to come into the game, could be ominous signs for the Warners Bay side. But they will be gallant. They won't throw the ball. They are a better side than they have been in years gone by. So we're going to see an epic final quarter. Toe poke to the centre back direction. Seb Thomas couldn't get it. Carney of Bailey B. Carnage kicks it. But it's chopped off by the defence of the Bulldogs. But they don't have enough numbers to get rid of this safely. Burns is captured in an epic tackle. Latham Carney hand passes out wide to Chris Murray, who's running into a goal, and the mark's taken.
There's a whistle.
We're going to wait and see.
Somewhere.
It's down the field. It's a downfield free kick.
It's got to be.
So the Panthers are going to get another one here, and it's Ethan Hay who will take the kick. He'll be the beneficiary of it, but he took the mark anyway, so it's not like he's getting anything for free. And this is so critical right now for the Bulldogs to keep their head. But Ethan Hay lets them off. Could he afford that kick? That would have been a massive spanner in the works for the Warners Bay Bulldogs had he kicked that. And he will be choking himself right now. As we wait for Seb Thomas to regather the ball, he's in no hurry to bring the ball back into play as we head into the last 50 seconds. There's still an opportunity for either side to score. Deverell's got it now. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong timing, aren't I? There's 20. How long are these quarters?
25.
25, that's
no
right.
time on 25.
Bird actually handled that tackle quite well. Rode the sling and will get the free kick. So a little bit of frustration coming into the Bulldogs game at the moment now, it would seem, and they can ill afford to do that. I think there's some tired bodies out there already. Well, there should be. I was gasping after about 3 minutes of the first quarter. Long kick down the line. Players group there. Bishop gets hold of it at the back of the pack. Hand pass out to a streaming Chris Murray. It's almost a mirror image of what we just saw. This time, though, the Bulldogs scream across the top, get in the way of a clean mark, and the ball go out of bounds. So we'll have a throw in a very dangerous spot, but there was almost a mirror image of the play there as Chris Murray sent it straight back down to the hot spot. Cerniascus and Bury. Bulldogs will get hold of it. They're under siege. Bury's trying to get down low to pick it up. Gibbons taps it out, and a toe poke's gone through. It's been touched on the line. There were some celebrations by the Panthers indeed, but it's been touched on the line. They seem to have found another gear, Ash.
Yeah, they certainly have. I think, don't know if it's them finding a gear or Warners Bay losing a gear, mate. I think you're right about these two players on the bench at the moment is really hurting them. Lack of rotation, Gardner. Waiting to come on the ground, Hunter Thomas. Doesn't overly get a lot of game time. He's going to be asked to play a lot more minutes in this last quarter and a bit. Campbell Connolly, who kicked a great goal in the first term. They send it inside. That's a free kick to Burns, surely. I don't know how many times he's been coat-angered today, but I tell you what, they must love his neck.
They can ill afford to apply tackles like that at the moment.
It's very, very undisciplined. I put it down to fatigue. I think they're fatigued, the Dogs.
Burns
like you
can
said.
go this.
Burns goes long and uncontested Walters.
Wow.
Unbelievable. That is slack marking from the Dogs. Where's Cerniauskas? Not trying to pin him out, but he's been rucking with Walters. He's at centre-half back, or centre-half forward for Panthers. There was no one on him. Wow, there you go. And that's, like you said, mate, they're getting tired. They've got two on the bench. They've got the rotations are less, and they're just struggling at the moment. The Dogs, as the Panthers nail another one, and it's now a 20-point margin.
Well, and a little goal
Avoca
celebration there, a little pat on the scone by Big Red. I'm not sure what it means. I'll find out some inside information on that. But he did a little goal celebration for us, which is great. But going back to what you're just saying, Ash, Cerniascus is carrying the ruck at the moment for the Bulldogs. He doesn't seem to have a reliable rotation in there. But the Panthers are effectively triple teaming him through Harrison Bond, Alec Walters, and Hayden Ellis.
And I think with about 2.25 minutes to go, Chop, and Terrigal kicking with the wind, I think this might be, like you said, it was ominous signs 7 or 8 minutes ago. It's looking even worse now.
It'll be a famous victory for the Panthers if they pull this one on. I mean, they are the reigning premiers, we know that, but they are well and truly down on personnel, and their lesser lights and the ones still amongst it are shining like this young man, Taj Knight, with a burst of speed, sends another ball straight up to the coalface for the Panthers. And Alec Walters controlling the ruck, and as a result, the midfield for the Panthers now. There's Carney, Bailey gets a ball out to Bond. He kicks one back to the coalface for the Panthers. It comes out of the hands of the Bulldogs there and through for another minor score. And the Panthers extend it now 22 points the deficit. By far and away the largest margin so far. And worrying signs for the Bulldogs. This was the week that they needed to make that happen. Kick now is effective. They've got the ball on the far side, the Bulldogs, as they wait for something to present itself. That kick then by Amberge Pedersen, effective enough in that Gardner emerges from traffic with the ball in hand. Geez, Flynn Peters reads the ball but great in that back line. I reckon 5 or 6 times he's just wheeled around the back of the pack, just knowing it's going to sail across the contest. And he's picked up another free kick downfield. He looks a bit ginger then.
So why is that not advantage? Because it was advantage over there before when Thomas kicked an open goal. That was the exact same thing.
Yeah.
If that's advantage over there, then it's advantage here too.
Yeah, you're right, because they were away, weren't they?
They were away if Carney wanted to go.
Yep, absolutely. So, questions asked there. Harrison Pitt coming up field a little bit to get himself another touch of the ball. Kick, very effective, finds Ethan Hay. Flynn Peters looks a bit ginger after that last late tackle. Inboard to Latham Carney. Siren's gone. He's well outside of his range, but that was a monumental quarter by the Panthers, and a shell-shocked Warners Bay look sullen. There's no doubt about that. I had a quick look at Mark Dignam as he walked off, and he shook his head, and he probably chastising himself, Ash, because he did miss that goal himself, which would have put them in a commanding position, wouldn't it, early on in that quarter?
There's an 11-point miss. His miss was rebounded
Correct.
down. Yeah, there's 11-point difference.
That was
there.
almost a turning point there, because then they've just been in control, the Panthers.
Yeah,
it's an 18-point lead to Terrigal Avoca at three-quarter time, 22-point lead at three-quarter time, 78 plays 56. At the other grounds, in the third quarter with 5 minutes to go, Maitland 45, the entrance Batter Bay 34. Brandon Lloyd has 5, Kalani Vale 75, Wyong 16. And Pongrasic has 2 goals, and it's 38-1 Newcastle City, and that's in the first minute of the second term. We'll go to the three-quarter time break. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back to Match of the Round, AFL Hunter Central Coast Black Diamond Cup Men's Division top tier. This is your Match of the Round broadcast, and we have 1 quarter to go in the home match at Fayon Oval between the Warners Bay Bulldogs and the Terrigal Avoca Panthers. In the third quarter, well, it turned the tables entirely. Terrigal Avoca took advantage of a couple of injuries that Warners Bay have sustained to key personnel, although they've sustained one themselves and both have limited benches, and just had a barnstorming into that third quarter to give themselves a 22-point margin. They're in front leading into the last quarter. Last year's reigning premiers with their backs against the wall against the emerging Warners Bay Bulldogs, and have they stayed off the challenge? Well, that question remains to be answered, and we should be able to give you a solution in 25 minutes. Ashborg, take it away.
So Walters got the 15-20 metre tap down, as good as a kick. No look hand pass. Knight kept his feet. Daniel went to ground. Knight will go on top of Cooper Daniel. Trap it in. The umpire will have another stoppage. So 25 minutes final term. Looking to try and get it out. Bishop almost intercepted it from out of nowhere. Murphy. Nice work. He's holding the footy. Tell you what. That was a good tackle there from Harrison Bond. He'll get the free kick.
This would have to be a nail, wouldn't it, Ash?
This will be in range for him for sure. If he kicks this...
Is it a nail in the coffin? Look at that close-up.
If he kicks this, it'll definitely be a mountain to climb. And it'll be more than a mountain, I'd say. You'd almost have to get in the space shuttle.
How's that kick?
That's awesome. That's a wonderful kick, Harrison Bond. And Corey's called it early, and I reckon I agree with him. That could be one nail in the Dogs' coffin this afternoon. The lead extends out to 28. Harrison Bond has his first goal of the match.
They call him H, but I watched that kick. I mean, look at these beautiful pictures here by the Scene Production Company. Just beautiful. You don't get close-ups like that in local footy anywhere else. That is brilliant. You could see what Harrison Bond was thinking. They call him H. And on that occasion, I saw that kick and thought to myself, H for holy shivers. That thing just flew through for a goal there. That was a massive kick. And I think there is trouble ahead for Warners Bay. This was a prime opportunity for them to get a much needed and very much deserved win against the reigning premiers, who they've struggled with at times in the past. But they may have lost that opportunity with that kick. We will see soon enough. Bond trying to get the loose ball, does. Flicks one out to Grimmond, who has the reaction time of a cat. And he hits Harrison Pitt with that floating kick, beautifully weighted and measured. Harrison Pitt plays on, kicks across the face, uncharacteristically off target for him. And the Bulldogs are away, charging off with it out of their defensive area. But it's a one-on-one race towards the wing, and one of which neither has won, because it's a pile-on of bodies over there, and we'll have a stoppage. So, 2 Panthers, 2 Bulldogs. Is there anyone around that stoppage? Almost not. The ruckman will have to rove their own ball. Toe poke by the Bulldogs, gains some ground, but finds the boundary line, and I think no one interfered with it. So is that a kick for the Panthers?
I think it's in the 50. It's hard to tell from over
here,
but I reckon it's in the 50, I think.
All right, okay, must be. There you go. Otherwise, that would have added to my confusion of the rodeo rule. Nonetheless, ball comes in. High ball. Well contested, but only goes as far as Bird for the Panthers. Then to Ellis. His kick smothered off the boot, but luckily underneath the float is Toby Burns, who literally does that to the grass as he moves. Kicks it further afield, looking for Thomas, who's on 4 goals for the day. Coming in for some assistance, Luke Bury. He puts a high ball up. 2 Bulldogs spoil each other in the marking contest. The Panthers still virtually in control of it. They're in a dangerous spot now. And we'll have another stoppage. I feel like there's an atmosphere about the Panthers where I wouldn't say they're relaxing, but they are enjoying the pressure relief that they have with the buffer zone of the scores that they have right now. They won't want to drop their guard, though, because the Bulldogs, they're somewhat of a emerging side at the moment, and They will take advantage of it, such as this man has just shown now. We love this guy, Riley Hawes. He's just an excitement machine. Tremendous to watch, growing with every single game he pulls the jumper on. And without a doubt, in the best 22 in the league this year, and he decides to be unselfish with a great, well-weighted kick to a teammate further afield, just to try and make sure of it. Though he did that with his coach in the last quarter, and it didn't work out quite the way it should have. But this time, the kick will be taken by Tom Riley. Ash has got him earmarked for a Scene Stealer Best on Ground award earlier on today. Whether he's continued on with that or a Panther's taken it from him, we'll wait and see. But that's a nice looking kick from Tom Riley. Enjoy that one late in the game. Will it be enough to pull his team back into the mix? We'll have to wait and see. But that in itself was a fantastic kick. And Riley Hawes to Tom Riley, from one Riley to another. Keep the Warners Bay Bulldogs' hopes alive today.
My limited football knowledge, he's had a really good game. And
No, he
Toby
has.
Burns, for mine, is killing
he's
it
been
today.
good.
He's been outstanding. I think he needs to invest in a new neck because he's had that ripped off that many times today. But he's been great today, Toby.
Mr. Burns.
So, son of Montgomery, as they go back to the middle, margin down to 22, 4 goals, 19 minutes. Still plenty of time if they can get a roll on Warners Bay, but that's the issue. So they move it out the middle. Troutman gathered at one grab. Outside of the foot, Dignam and Birkinshaw. Oh, did well, Birkinshaw. He's always so strong. Out to Riley. Back to Gardner. Over the top. Dignam needs to be there first. Gowrie did well. That could be out on the full. What's the decision? Throw in. And fair enough. So 9-8-62 plays 13-6-84. The Panthers lead it. I wouldn't say they struggled in the first half, but they were finding their rhythm as a team with so many players out. They've definitely found it in the third term, and it's blown the game open. Dignam grabs it out of the ruck, tried to go round the body. Nice work there, Lee Croft. And almost grabbing the mark from the back. McDonald, that was Gardner, actually tried to get it out. Nice work, Walters, who made the intercept. To Ellis, to Walters, who dashes down the side. Takes a bounce, did well. Needs to go for another. No, he tries to shorten it up and go to a teammate, Grim and Lee. Well done. That was Brady McDonald, the 50th gamer with courage. And just did beautifully against the game's best player. To Gardner. He goes over the top, Dignam to the front. Nice work from the back, Birkinshaw. Troutman, left foot, snapped around the body, and it's missed everything. And it's gone out of bounds in the full. That's been the Dogs' epitome of the Dogs' second half, fellas. It just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, you're right. I wonder whether I feel like they've rolled the dice enough, the Bulldogs. I think they kind of just feel to me like they've just relied on it just happening. I'd like to have seen a different type of intensity with their second half, especially as the ball comes back in. A half volley, it was picked up by Riley Hawes. I think he's going to get a free kick out of this. He's just about really enjoyed, it looks like he's really enjoyed the close attention from Briscoe Hoff. Was just saying thank you for that. As the stoppage is won by Corey Deverill. Hand passes out wide. The kick now by the Bulldogs looks pretty good. That's another one, 2 in a row. Late in the third, in the fourth quarter, Riley Hawes with number 4.
Was Cooper Daniel.
Was it Cooper Daniel? Similar haircuts. Well done, Cooper Daniel. Just excited for you. And that's great news for the Warners Bay Bulldogs. They're not done yet. 10-8-68. 3-6-84. What does that make it? A 16-point margin. I don't know. My maths is not that good. I'll throw you to the school principal, who should be able to correct that.
Yeah, 16 points. Although my maths is generally out at football games for some unknown reason.
It's been a great spread of goal kickers today.
It's been very good. 7 goal scorers for Warners Bay and 8 goal scorers for the Panthers as they go back to the middle. Cerniowska starting to win the battle. To Troutman. Troutman's been pivotal in this game. He shoots it across to Gardner. Gardner long, and Hawes connects beautifully. Oh, he was tempted, but I think common sense thought better of it. He's had a terrific game, Riley Hawes.
He's given the last 3 off. This time maybe he's got to go for it.
What's the odds on him running around the man on the mark here? Pretty sure I'm not sure it's Murray or not, but no, it's actually Leecroft. He goes long and probably out of range against the breeze. He's tried to kick that from 55. So Bishop's men, and Chris Bishop with the footy. We've got 15 minutes to win a game. They probably look on paper. You generally think they win them. As Gibbons play on, says the ump. No mark taken. To Deverill. Dignam, 2-on-1. Tried to get it to the ground. They did well again here, the Panthers. Pick coming from about 10 deep. Mark taken by the 38 of Campbell Connolly, who kicked a wonderful goal in quarter number 1. He goes long. Pack forms. Great hands. And that's Bishop in the last line, Chop.
Wow.
Gee, he's so reliable back there.
Good on him. Still coming up with the goods, isn't he, Chris Bishop? Looks every bit 62 years of age, and he's just running around like he's... Just kidding, Chris. He's running around like he's in his prime. And here the Panthers pull the trigger. They load up. Bird, he's got 2 to beat here. He's being absolutely harassed here by Bulldogs. Gets a hand pass out. But his teammate is absolutely savaged by 3 Bulldogs from every side. That's Luke Bury. But it's interesting to note, the Panthers kicked the first goal, and we were talking about the first nail in the coffin. And just like that, we talked about the lack of intensity by the Bulldogs, which all of a sudden is there and they're feverish now. And that the Panthers were perhaps being a bit relaxed. And we see this from possibly the best player on the field there, in Toby Burns. That's not to take anything away from his game, but he was run down then with some aplomb. So the Bulldogs still showing they've got lots to show before today's done. 11 and a half minutes to go. There is still time for them to claw back that 16-point deficit. There's no doubt about that. So that nail that went in the coffin, we've quickly clawed that back out. Because it's game on, ladies and gentlemen, as the long kick down to the wing. No mark taken. Good contest there. The Bulldogs have got in hand, but they are tackled in turn. And a free kick has been awarded for that too. It looks like, was that Jack Grimman who was illegally handled there?
He's down, Grimman Lee. He'll get up, but it was a pretty rough shot.
Yeah. Well, it takes nothing short of a AK-47 to actually keep him down. He is just about bulletproof, that guy. He takes a flogging every week and still turns up. As Bishop kicks into the forward line for the Panthers. Walters rows it beautifully. Jeez, he's been good at ground level. Gets it in the Pitt direction. Pitt's got 1 to beat. He's been handled, but the boundary line beats all of them in the end. That, very well done. Is that... I couldn't get a read on the player who was playing on him just then, but he's done very well. I think it could have been Gibbons, perhaps. I don't know. But we'll have a ruck knock now in a dangerous spot. And, geez, the Panthers could really do with a goal here just to steady that ship. Grimman Lee, the Reaper, comes in. Can't get hold of it. Goes for a second time. And this time he's penalised. It was a good tackle by Cooper Daniel. He held him up just enough. Couldn't get an arm free to get the hand pass. And Cooper Daniel should be able to pull the release pressure valve for the Warners Bay Bulldogs defence here, Ash.
Excuse me. Yeah, good. No, it's all good, mate. Thomas will take it. That was a nice little cough. I've been having that for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So Thomas has been outstanding today at fullback. Sends it long. No one really wanted to go after it. Punch on them between Gary and Amber Peterson. No one punched in the end. And the umpire will settle the score as Riley gets up with the footy. Briscoe Hoff around it. Cerniauskas grabs it out. Briscoe Hoff, nice smother, goes out to Carney, who delivers to Murray, who got shoved after he kicked it there by Troutman. Play on, says the umpire. Bury over the footy. He's taken the ground and...
It's a bit hurting that, Murray, by the look of it.
Yeah, well,
but he's tough as...
It was well and truly dumped afterwards then. It was a clear downfield free kick for mine. I'm standing not far away. But what would I know, as they say? Bury gets it out. Carney round the body. That's looking pretty good from there. Oh, how has he marked that from the ground?
Oh, wow.
That is incredible. Is that Thomas?
Thomas for his bag.
My goodness. That is one of the marks of the day, if not the year.
Yeah, that was epic.
How he takes that from the ground, I'll never know. Never took his eye off it. And Thomas for goal number 5, and here come the celebrations on the YouTube channel.
Let's have a look. Fireworks already.
The fireworks are up. That's 5 goals for Thomas.
Brandon Thomas, he's happy about it too. Look at that smile on his
That is
face.
brilliant. That is a sensational game from him, and the mark was just outstanding. Let's have a look. I hope this replay
Oh, sorry, I
can
don't
come
have the mark. I do apologise.
That's all right,
That's-
mate. That is outstanding.
Yeah, it
From
was.
the ground, and he manages to shift his opponent out of the way and take the mark above his head.
I'll tell you what.
Incredible.
He's almost been a game winner for him. Those 5 goals in the grand scheme of it all, looking at the score deficit now, and the fact that Harrison Pitt hasn't had a big day by his standards, he could have been the late inclusion of the year for the Panthers, because his 5 goals and bag is probably going to be what the Panthers might get across the line by if they can hang on for another 10 minutes. And it's certainly been the order of the day for him. So Brandon Thomas, bag raider for today, first one. Not his first bag either, by the way. He had a couple last season, I think, but I don't think we've seen him in the senior side this year. I'll have to go back and have a check. But a great inclusion nonetheless. As the ball's kicked straight down the line by the Bulldogs. What can they mount with 10 minutes left to go? Cerniasca's done a mountain of work for the Bulldogs today. He's rucked all day long against 3 opponents, one of which just smothered his kick there and almost rubbing salt in the wounds there. He can hold his head up high, Cerniascas, that's for sure. He's been gallant today, and I barely had a break. I think we saw Mark Dignam in the ruck for a short period there through the third quarter, I think. So they lock arms there, Gowrie and Ellis, and Cerniascas, while the on-ballers try and do all the work. Quick hand pass outboard now. They're off and racing. The Carla gets the kick away. They're still moving towards their goal. And Troutman reads it better in the air. He's off the mark there. He's in trouble. He's going to have to get the ball onto boot. Sort of takes some time. He's gone backwards quite a number of metres there to be able to maintain control of the ball. Hurried kick up high by the Bulldogs. Gibbons racing, kept his eye on it all the way. Very courageous. Couldn't bring it down. The ball's in dispute. So the hands are Bond now. Carney puts it up. There's another Carney there, but it's a little bit of volleyball. Lathan Carney there against Cerniascas. Can't beat him. But a couple of Panthers come in and resuscitate things. Walters tries to take that mark. He can't. He gets some able opposition there. He's had a tremendous, especially his second half. Alec Walters has been on fire as he tackles Cooper Daniel over the boundary line.
Quick question. You reckon they sacrificed Seb Thomas's game and they've shortened the ruck?
Do you mean as in?
I would have even tried Thomas in the ruck today.
Yeah, well, they
I think he's been so good on Pitt, though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You
That's
can't
the
take him
thing.
off Pitt.
Do you sacrifice? I mean, could they have sacrificed him earlier to try and even up the ruck duel a bit?
I probably would have put Riley Hawes up into the middle a bit more. I love him down forward, and he kicks a lot of goals, but maybe the class of Hawes in the centre might have been something I would have maybe moved.
I think they definitely should have tried Thomas in the ruck, because that's been where the Panthers have been able to get ascendancy, is in the middle. And even if you sacrifice him off Pitt, at least you're going to give Cerniascas a rest, and you're going to give a different ruck option, which is going to give your midfielders possibly first touch at it, and that never goes to Pitt then, if they get the first clearance. So I reckon that would have been a gamble worth taking, Ash. Good question.
So they drive it to half-back, nearly getting there, Ellis. Nice little pirouette there. That was by Deverill. Send it to the wing. Well gathered by the Panthers. Turned over to Riley. Hand pass over the top. It's been falling down a bit here as Carla goes over the top. That's a good handball. Taking a bounce down the side and sending it long inside 50 in the Hawes direction. Ball to ground. Hawes is dangerous here. He's allowed to gather. He goes back to Dignam, who goes round the body for some life. And he keeps the game going with a finish around the corner. Is it too little too late? have the Warners base side got enough? They're 16 points down with 6 minutes to go. Dignam has 2 goals today, and Riley Hawes probably could have had 5 today, but he gave a few off.
He's been very unselfish. He's been very creative up in that forward line, Riley Hawes, all day. And popped up a few opportunities for his teammates indeed. There's still time for Riley to get another bag here today. There's no doubt about that. He certainly deserves one. He's done very well at locking the ball in the forward line for the Warners Bay Bulldogs also. So we're back to that magical 16-point deficit that we've seen a few times in this back half, where what was a roller coaster seesawing lead for the first half of football, the Panthers have pretty much had it in their favour since middle of the third quarter. Warners Bay still got work to do yet, but 16 points is doable, and that's the thing that should fire these boys up to a level of intensity I haven't been able to produce up till now. As Walters taps that to the advantage of his Panthers. Bury, Bishop combined, scramble, arms and legs everywhere. No one getting clean purchase on it. Everyone's having a dip in this one, aren't they? Until the umpire says, I'll ball it up, lads. So we'll have another stoppage here. It's really, it's at a clutch moment, the game, isn't it? Terrigal certainly have one hand on the W. Bishop gets that out of the ruck. Walters is really putting that ball right down the throat of, when he's doing the tap ruck work, he's really putting it down the throat of his midfielders. They're getting worn closely. Cerniascus has a bit to say about that one. In the hands of Bishop again. Taj Knight cleverly. That was a great, almost like a little rugby league chip forward there, and then he ran onto it. But the Bulldogs have been able to grab hold of the ball, take control of it, kick it out of danger. Hand pass over the side, looping, kick straight down the line, and dealt with after the ball was delivered. It should be a downfield kick. What's happened here? It's played on.
He played on.
Right, and Flynn Peters is now tackled. I think it's Joel Carla there, and got the free kick in the end. So it's come undone for the Bulldogs. They got the kick downfield. Gibbons waited patiently at the back of that pack for it, but Bury just got a hand and disallowed him to take the easy mark. In the hands now of Lewis Murphy. He wheels around, long kick to the centre. No Bulldogs home, unfortunately. Outstretched, Bird misses it, and they pounce on it now, the Bulldogs. Here's Riley Hawes. Will he get his bag? He's tackled. The bounce held him up. Unfortunate, a bit of bad luck there with it, but he's still going at it. The Panthers surround him, and he has to go back to go forward, and does indeed. I think he's found Seb Thomas, who steadies up and drills one. Geez, he's a good striker of the ball. Was that Seb Thomas? Can I get a bit of clarity on that? I don't know if it was. He was a long way away from the defensive line. If it was him, I'm not sure if it was. No, it was. I don't think it was.
That's Riley Hawes. And he went back.
Yep.
To,
no, it's not.
I think it might actually be Kendall.
It was. Yeah, was it Kendall?
Might be Kendall.
My sincere apologies. I didn't get a read on that as he
That's
kicked
all right.
it. Well, I tell you what, he looked the stature of Seb Thomas when he was kicking it, I thought. So that's got to be a compliment, surely.
So Bishop, 2.25 minutes remaining. The Dogs trail by 10. I reckon they may have left their run a little late. The Panthers, they'll be very professional in the way they finish this game. It's all about game management right now. Troutman needs to find a target. He's spotted up beautifully. That was a good hit to Connolly. They're looking for the one-on-one. Smother was great by Hay. Went over the top. Murray, hand pass into space. Bailey, Carney overran it. Working to get it here, Murphy. Murray did beautifully. Went round the boundary, and Luke Berry scores his first try of the game.
Yeah.
He sends it over.
Yeah, double cobra. There it is. For old time's sake. Love it.
So that one was very intelligently done. They're just managing the game now, the Panthers here. They're just going to try and lock it up and play around with it. It's up to the Dogs to get it in space. That's just very good. That's don't know how much they do of this at training, but I dare say this would be very much inbuilt and ingrained in the Chris Bishop School of Football. Get it tight in the last few minutes and lock it in. And they're doing it very professionally as Grim and Lee tried to go back to Carney. Nice tackle, pressure, play on, says the hand pass out, Gosha. Got it in space now. Betts. Tuck it over the top. Amberg-Peterson. Nice tap forward there. That was by Carla, but he's overrun it. And Taj Knight will just give himself do a bit of Socceroos work and tow it to himself. Keep it Daniel in back up. There's less than a minute to go. The goal will be only superficial as it bypasses Dignam. Birkinshaw sends a chip over to Bishop. This is going to be, I wouldn't say it's one of their most famous wins, fellas, but it'll be definitely one of their gutsiest because they've come here today at least 8 to 10, maybe even more players short, Corey.
Well, 14.
They've done the business. They've just been far too hungry in the second half, I reckon.
Well, we know that not 10 games ago they won a premiership. And from that side, they've got more players out than there are games since they last won that premiership. So 14 players from that premiership side not here today. They're in damage control.
That's a great effort.
And they were able to hold off a rampaging and emerging Warners Bay Bulldogs, who for all intents and purposes, the closeness of them and Nelson Bay right now means every week they're playing for their season. And this was one of those games where they needed to rise and win that, shake the hoodoo and keep their season healthy. So it's going to be a tough run for the Bulldogs from this point in, but the Terrigal Avoca Panthers, you can't
keep champions down.
A Panther against the wall is almost as dangerous as one that's sitting on top of it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, you never bet against a champion team or a premier. And Terrigal Avoca have outlasted Warners Bay to win it by 10 points. 14 goals, 690 to Warners Bay, 12-8-80. Highlighted by Brandon Thomas's 5 goals. I don't know, fellas, for mine it's out of Brandon Thomas or Toby Burns for Scene Stealer. I think the two of them, or Alec Walters, the three of them really won the game for them in that second half and did a marvellous job all around the ground. It was a good performance from Brandon Thomas. Taj Knight played a good role too. Harrison Bond was excellent in the ruck. Grimman Lee always does what Jack Grimman Lee does. Riley Hawes got 3 for the team that finished second today. Dignam and Kendall got 2 each. I think he might have got a 3, depending on who kicked that last goal for Warners Bay.
Don't forget this
Andy
guy.
Baldwin,
He might get
congratulations, mate. We might even give him the scene stealer
give him.
without the voucher. And maybe get him back
I
to
thought
see
he
if
was
can
going to
talk.
wear a golden shirt a la
Oh, yeah,
Scott
Pendlebury style,
Pendlebury.
yeah.
So
It's
He hasn't got the record yet.
It's fantastic. He's a long way off the record, that's for sure. But to be the 5th person to umpire 350 games is something very special, Andy. Congratulations, mate. You're
what's
a good
the
friend.
most
And
of a goal umpire, do
over
you know?
400, 500. Sully's got 1,000, so
Yeah, right. Okay.
that may never get beat. But at the end of the day, they had some injuries early. Munns got taken out of the game in the first quarter, and that really stifled any opportunity they had to attack. But they still managed to get 80 in the game.
Brandon Lloyd got a bad.
They then lost players throughout the match and ended up with 2 on the bench. So we'll sum up scores from other grounds. Stanley, Vout and Lloyd got 5 each. Kalani Vale 104. Defeated Wyong 23, and that's still going. City 60. Cardiff 8, and that's in a third term. And this is the one I'm trying to get Shane to hold on for, because the entrance Batter Bay with 24 points down at half time. And with 4 minutes to go, they're 6 points in front of Maitland, 59 to 53. You'll have to stay tuned to the Play AFL and the AFL Hunter Central Coast page to check that one out and to make sure that scoreline's finished. If Maitland can win the game, they end up 6th on the table and in the finals at the end of round 11. So from Corey Opper, Shane Darwin, thanks again, fellas. And we will be back next week for a very special round 12 from the Passage Road when the entrance Batter Bay take on Kalani Vale Bombers for a very special trophy that we'll announce or we'll talk about during the week. But for now, on the scene, from myself, Ashley Borg, it's goodbye.
This has been a Scene Production co-broadcast for the AFL Hunter Central Coast.